Hello, everybody. This is Christina Fasonic, broadcasting live from Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm outside tonight because I can be. And I'd like to bring my co-host, Damien, on, and we're going to introduce our new writer for this evening. And we want to say we're so glad that you are still with us and that you're telling your friends to join us. Hey, Damien.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am outstanding this evening. I'm not outside, but I should be.
You're never outside.
I have bad judgment.
When you're outside?
It seems like when I'm inside too, I think it follows me around. It's endemic.
Ah, I get it. It's part of your natural makeup. So would you like to introduce our writer tonight?
I very much would. I have known John Lawson for more than 10 years, and I am really, really happy tonight to be bringing his poetry to anybody who is watching WCONA Live. So let me tell you a little bit about John. He has taught writing and rhetoric at Robert Morris University for 22 years.
Awesome. And
is more or less still sane. His poetry collection Generations was published by St. Andrews University Press. Lovely collection. And his poems have individually appeared in Main Street Rag, Vox Populi most recently, and many other print and online venues. He also writes plays and stories. So maybe we could bring him out.
Well, as you know, I'm all about rhetoric and composition. It's my thing. So glad to meet another rhet comper. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, good to see you guys. I'm trying to figure out which way to move on camera here.
I haven't figured it out yet. We've been doing the show for months.
All right. It's always weird when everybody gets on.
All right. Okay, here I am.
Yeah, we look forward to you reading for us tonight.
Well, I envy you being outside. My windows are shut because Route 65 is right outside my window. And so I'm kind of sweltering here in downtown Ambridge, but I'll throw the windows open again.
I believe that.
Okay, we ready?
All right. Well, Damien, I'll off and leave you to it, okay?
Okay, great.
We'll be back on in a few minutes. Good luck.
Excellent, thanks. So thanks for being with me tonight, and I'd like to start out by reading just a few of what I call my 575s. I don't seem to be looking at you because my camera's up here. But these are in haiku format. They're 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. But I've been keeping some of those. They're not strictly haikus because they don't obey all the haiku rules. But I want to read a half dozen or so that I've written since the pandemic has shut everything down. I've been walking around Ambridge and taking notes. So the first kind of portrays the cavalier behavior or attitude that people had at the beginning. It goes, some disease, a bad cold, so what? Why shut it all down? Come on, let's dance. The second is another 575, and it portrays a little later in the pandemic when people were starting to get paranoid. The guy in the flat below coughs. Clouds of microbes rise through the floorboards. I was out for a walk about 5 weeks ago, and I saw some roofers at work. I overheard this. Roofers on scaffolds replace rotten eaves. Our wives won't let us stay home. Of course, the pandemic and the shutdown has had bad economic effects. So this next one is about that. 40 million laid off. My friend thanks God for his risky, low-wage job. It's an adventure going for groceries these days. In the grocery store, Please put on your mask. What the fuck is your problem? And last, which is your team? The cowards who wear masks or the idiots who don't? Speaking of partisanship, it's amazing to me to see how Americans so often give their political and cultural idols almost godlike status. And I'd like to shift now from the shorter pieces to a longer piece called O King, which was published in Vox Populi a few months ago. O King, you and your satraps proclaim you are wise, O King. You promise to bring us contentment. You speak and my heart flies, O King. I delight when you step to the podium. They say you have powers, O King, beyond those of mere mortals. A wave of your hand and riches spring out of the ground, rain from the sky like manna. We hunger, O King. Our needs cascade, a vast waterfall over the edge of the farthest horizon. Bring mercy and hope, O King. Feed us and clothe us. Bring peace. Reconcile us. Your enemies whisper, O King. We hear them at night as we lie down to sleep. Rats scurry behind thin walls of plaster. Everyone knows they're just jealous, O King. Silence their treason. Bring them to justice. You stand before us, beautiful and strong. We, your worshipers, all right-thinking people, bow to the music of your voice and your thought. You are the Father beneficent. The gold of your gaze bathes us in sunlight. Someone said once, we're not free anymore. We killed him, O King, and I will tell you, if freedom means life without you, that freedom is death. Nobody wants it. The next poem is called Long Life, and it has to do with the aging process, which, as you can see, is well advanced in my case. It's a reaction to a response to my friend Jim Daniels' poem called Little Bumps. Long life. Life is long. The things you hate have time to return, and not just once, but every time you think you've faced and made them disappear. The bully in the schoolyard. Yeah, you yell. Well, go ahead and make me. Bring it, bitch. Let's see what you got. And the bully walks away as if ashamed, then turns and knocks your front teeth out with fists as big as Christmas hams, and sends you bleeding on your shirt, staggering to the nurse for stitches. But the bastard gets suspended, then sent down, or so you hear, to military school. Gone for good, or that's what you imagine. And sure, you've grown too old for childhood monsters lurking under beds, in dusty closets behind curtains. But monsters never go for good. Years from now, in your senile sleep, they'll reappear. And yet, each time they come, the things you hate get less scary bit by bit. The bully in the yard becomes the boss with lipstick on her teeth. The bedtime monster, a bill that fell behind the desk and now is 3 weeks late. Life is long enough to realize even the worst is part of all you love. One day you'll awake and miss the silent slink of monsters in the dark. The fist of that young bully flying toward your face. I'd like to conclude with an oldie but a a favorite of mine to read. It's called Bad Jesus. When Bad Jesus comes around, he smells fresh from the shower, soaped and powdered, smiling in snow-white laundered robes that flow like bountiful forgiveness from his molten eye. He kneels to pray. I kneel down too and feel his gentle touch that disentangles the lost sheep of my spirit from the brambles. The heavens open, etc. Then he takes a seat beside me on the couch to watch football and asks me if I've got any soft drinks, any nachos or pretzels. And I'm all like, hey, you're God, right? Why do you know already? And anyway, why can't you zap us up some snacks right here and save me a trip to the refrigerator? But when the good Jesus comes, I wake in the dark and listen to him snuffling around the cold, dead campfire, searching food. And finding none, he roars and tears the thin skin of my tent with a savage paw. A grizzly bear with grisly breath, he snaps and slashes, chasing me, bitten and wounded deep into the midnight forest. I hear him crashing through the undergrowth just inches behind me as I run. And I yell back over my shoulder, okay, I believe, now go away. But he keeps coming. And eventually I trip, and he holds me down and leisurely strips my carcass, bit by bit. So that's my 2 cents worth.
All right. Carcass stripping.
That was intense.
You know, I always imagined, you know, John, as a book, you know, I know the poem Carcass Stripping. And I always thought about, you know, political animal as the cover of your book, as like the next book, right? With your sort of like imitating Lou Reed on Rock and Roll Animal. But now after tonight, I'm thinking haiku outlaw.
Yeah. I've got about 70 of them I've written since the quarantine started.
Well, I like what you talked about, you know, where you got your inspiration walking through the streets of Ambridge. I know some people who grew up there. And so I was imagining sort of what you were seeing. And it was just so, it's amazing what you were able to do with 3 lines.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I've been writing them for 50 years, so it gets easier with time.
Well, I think that, you know, a lot of people underestimate the challenges of writing a very well put together haiku. So awesome work.
Thanks.
So one of our readers just chimed. Oh, 2 of them. We had 2 readers who just chimed in with "Love the Bully" poem. And yes, I have made some notes here about the flying fist of the bully. That is lovely work. That idea of longing for, you know, this childhood due to boom. I mean, that's some righteous stuff.
Thanks. You know, it's become increasingly clear to me that life is basically about suffering. And so you become nostalgic for lost forms of suffering even.
To quote Al Swearingen on HBO's Deadwood, one vile fucking task after another.
That's it.
Well, thanks for coming on, John.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you were really great. Enjoyed it very much.
Oh, thanks. Good to meet you, Christina.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. And it's nice to meet a fellow Rhett Comp person.
Yeah.
And you're just the road because I'm at Cal U, just down the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good. So I want to give a shout out to my bud, Nicole Moretti, who I saw a week or 2 ago. And also I saw Phil Turman on your airwaves, and so that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We loved having them both.
Yeah,
Yep.
I intend to dig deeper into your archive. So
it's all there. It's on YouTube and it's on our website too. So, but if you're looking for something particular, just let us know and we'll send it to you.
Great, thanks.
It's veritable basement tapes of great literature.
Excellent.
That's right. We're starting a trend.
Keep writing and keep interviewing, you guys. Good to see you.
Yeah, no, Christina, we have somebody coming up because we missed one Monday, but we're not going to miss another.
No, we're not. And I believe it's Kayla, right?
That sounds right.
Yes, I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's
You
Kayla.
are awesome. I just realized I left it upstairs before I opened my mouth.
Kayla Sargent.
Bad Judgment.
Yes,
Yes,
Kayla.
Kayla Sargent.
Yeah, good.
And then after that, we'll have James Charlesworth, Jacinda Townsend, Sherry Flick, Jason Irwin, and one of my personal favorites, Matt Ferrant. So I'm really looking forward to the month of June with our readers. I mean, the month of May was fantastic. You know, how much better is this going to get, right? Everybody's been so wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Have
Thanks
a good
for,
evening.
see, I can't.